Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. Welcome to Paige and Sophia Talks. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Paige.
We wanted to give you a little overview of what to expect from our podcast as you listen along with us. Paige, why don't you share how we came up with the idea in the first place?
Well, we were just hanging out, chatting about life, just doing your nails, and we were joking around that we should have a podcast because I have a passion for learning more about what the Bible has to say and how I can apply it to my real life. And with your background in biblical studies, it just worked out that I was always learning. And we had this epiphany like, hey, we should start a podcast. There are probably other people who have the same questions that I do. And then we just kind of left it go. But then 2 weeks later, we both were like, hey, let's get dinner and talk about this podcast. And then there at a Panera Bread, the podcast was born.
So we will be encouraging you, our listeners, to read the Bible on your own and then join us as we summarize the passage and share what we learned from it. I know a lot of times it's hard to just kind of jump in the Bible and understand what you're reading. So our hope is to help you know what's happening and why each of these stories were included in the Bible. Because when we read it, we have to remember that we're transporting back thousands of years. So we need to take the time to know what the culture was like, what expectations were of people, and that will help us know God better because we understand His Word better.
Sometimes it's even hard just to remember what life was like 20 years ago, let alone 2,000 plus years ago. Like even just 20 years ago, like I said, we had dial-up internet, we had pagers. There weren't just mini computers in your pockets that we call cell phones now. There were fax machines. We couldn't use the internet and the phone at the same time. Somebody had to get off one to use the other. So imagine the difference between now and Bible times where they had nothing. They had just were living off the land. They were doing what they could with whatever they had.
Yeah. So we hope you'll join us as we study the Bible and have lots of fun along the way. And we hope that you'll be encouraged and just feel like this is a safe space to come and learn maybe for the first time ever, or if you just want to know the Bible better.
We're just a couple of girlfriends hanging out, trying to translate the Bible into an easy to understand language for everybody to grab a hold of. You can follow us on Instagram for episode updates to make sure that you get all the encouragement you need throughout the week for our favorite verses, anything like that. Our Instagram is at Paige and Sophia Talks. That's Paige and A-N-D, Sophia, Sophia, Talks. Tune in on January 15th for our very first episode as we talk about my personal favorite life lesson, patience. Because we all could use a little lesson on patience nowadays. You can read ahead as we'll be talking about Sarah and Abraham. You can find them in Genesis chapters 16 through 21. If you have any questions about the passage, feel free to shoot us an email. It's the same as our Instagram handle, Paige and Sophia Talks at gmail.com. If you have any prayer requests too, feel free to flood our inbox with any concerns or prayer requests that you may have. And on that note, that's a wrap. Happy New Year, guys. See you in 2 weeks.
See ya.